the beautiful ladies outside tonight. You right there. Yeah, I see you with them stilettos on. You got on my favorite color on them toes. I bet we jump back over to the hotel. We can leave at noon.
Got it all, cause your body is fine and you're blowing my mind. Got it all, shorty tryna make you mine. Got it all, from the waist side. Know you're riding well, the OT and stateside. Baby girl, you got it all. Baby girl, you got it all. Baby girl, you're looking good. Know you're rolling well, the front to a backwood. Baby girl, you got it all. Baby girl, you got it all. Baby girl, roll with me. Know you tipsy off of 2 cups of Hennessy. Baby girl, you got it all. Baby girl, you got it all. Baby girl, I'm getting right with you. Come and spend the night with you. Oh, girl, got it all. Cause your body is fine and you're blowing my mind. Got it all. Shorty tryna make you mine. Got it all, from the waist side. Know you're riding well, the OT and stateside. Baby girl, you got it all. Baby girl, you got it all.
Yeah, girl, you smell good. Yeah, girl, you look fine. Yeah, you a little freak, even when you on FaceTime. Yeah, girl, you got it all. Yeah, girl, you got it all. Yeah, she from Brentwood, whipping on wood grain. Got a Mercedes 82, whipping in out of lanes. Baby girl, you scheming. Got a nigga fiending. To the left, to the left. Go ahead and be little Beyonce off to yourself. Going to the left, going to the left, going to the left, going to the left, yeah.
Got it all, cause your body is fine and you're blowing my mind. Got it all, shorty tryna make you mine. Got it all, from the waist side. Know you're riding well, the OT and stateside. Baby girl, you got it all. Baby girl, you got it all. These studies have knocked me out. She put the seat back and I got the seat right as you. Little mama wanna suck and to swallow me. Why? What's poppin', y'all? I'm in the building. What is poppin', y'all? I am in the building. Check-in report is in the building. Good to be here on a Sunday night, on Sunday evening. We got a bevy of topics to get to. We have to talk about Charleston White's Snitch tape coming out. Anthony Mackie and Masculinity. Let me know if you guys want to have a discussion about that. Anybody want to have a discussion about masculinity today? Hop in the Twitter Spaces if you want to have a conversation about masculinity tonight. Second, y'all. And we got some other topics that we're gonna cover. We got some other topics that we want to cover, but yeah, that's the main topics. Charleston White. And the Snitch tape coming out, and I have my thoughts on that. And also we're gonna talk about Anthony Mackie and Masculinity. You know, a bevy of things we have to get to though, the bevy of things. But as of the first thing, we're gonna get to Charleston White and you know his Snitch tape coming out as a 16-year-old man. Let me see if I have the clip right here, because that's him responding to it. But I want to play the clip of him snitching as a 16-year-old man, and I have my thoughts on that. I want to play the clip first. Where is it? Where is it? Where is him? Snitch video. Where is it at? You know, where was he? Here you go. This is Charleston White when he was 16 years old. This is the video of him, essentially, cooperating with the courts. Let's play this video. Let's get into this.
16-year-old Charleston White took the stand and testified against his friend, Antoine Doolittle, who sat just a few feet from him and listened intently.
He pulled it off, and the hammer back on the gun.
And then what happened?
He fired it.
Doolittle is accused of gunning down 34-year-old Michael Levy of Irving. Levy attempted to stop Doolittle, White, and 2 other teenagers accused of shoplifting 3 sports jackets and a baseball cap from an Arlington mall.
See, a lot of y'all don't remember, a lot of y'all may be a little bit too young, but back in the day, starter jackets, man, people used to get robbed for their starter jackets. I mean, I remember back in the day, that was a big thing, like starter jackets. Let me just take a detour for 1 second. Starter jackets, it was big in the 90s. People were getting robbed for those things. Starter, because this is in the 90s where this happened. Starter jackets. Yeah, man, these were in the 90s though. This is, this is like, yeah, back in the day, people were getting robbed. People were getting run down on, all types of violent crimes. I mean, these were like the essential items back in the day where people were getting, pressed on, sneakers. Like if you had a fresh pair of Jordans, fresh pair of sneakers, Nikes, starter jackets. These were the things that the young people back then were robbing and going ham over. Just want to put that in perspective, because a lot of people may say, "Oh, they robbed this man, or they murdered this man just over some jackets." Like, this is what was happening back in the day. Back in the day, starter jackets were the big thing. Look at it like a pair of J's, or look at it like as a pair of $1,000 pair of Nikes or something like that. Like that's what was happening in the 90s. People getting robbed and all types of violent crimes over starter jackets.
In September of 1991, witnesses say Levy pounded on their windshield until the teens threw the jackets out the car window.
Wow.
Then Doolittle supposedly shot him in the back as Levy walked away. White repeated the conversation he says he had with Doolittle after the shooting.
He said, "Look, you shot him."
And what did he do?
Started laughing.
Levy had been married only 4 days when he was shot.
Wow.
But I always had my dreams of my Prince Charming.
Oh, wow.
I found him. And it's hard to believe, but I did. And I believe in fairy tales because he made my dreams come true. And they took that away.
White will be testifying against all 3 of his buddies in exchange for a maximum sentence of 12 years. A juvenile judge reduced the charge from capital murder to murder against Doolittle, so the teenager faces from 5 years to life in prison if he's found guilty.
I handed him the gun.
Now, these are my thoughts, right? Charleston White. Let me just put Charleston White on the screen here. Charleston White. This is when he was a young man. So, I seen Hassan Campbell kind of getting on Charleston White. The reality is this: Charleston White, he's pretty much let it be known that he's a rat. He let it be known. He's not sitting up here trying to portray he's a street guy anymore. He's not trying to portray he's a gangster. He's not trying to portray anything. But he works with the police and any types of thing. And such a sad crime where somebody lost their lives, over a jacket. I mean, it's really sad. But Charleston, right? He's not running from none of this. He's saying, he's pretty much put out a video, telling people that, yo, man, yeah, everybody didn't seen it already. My thoughts on it, I don't think that what Charleston did. This is just my opinion. This is my opinion. I don't think what Charleston did was wrong. I think that Charleston was probably running around with some bad apples that were making bad decisions. And a lot of times when young men, they have, when they're pretty much, just following the pack, they're not leading the pack, they're following the pack. A lot of times young men get themselves in bad situations. You got to watch your company. You got to watch the people you be around. And I think that Charleston, at the young age of 16, I think that that's what happened to him. I don't think that Charleston wanted that to happen. I don't think that Charleston, that was the outcome, and that was the that was the motive that night. I mean, the motive that night was probably just stealing some starter jackets and stealing some gear and stuff like that. It wasn't necessarily to take someone's life. But the fact that Charleston White fell into that crowd and he was with someone that was willing to commit such a heinous crime, and I believe the man got 75 years. I believe the man got 75 years that Charleston White was that he testified against. But you know, me personally, I don't feel like what Charleston did at the young age of 16 was wrong. And we may also play a Hassan Campbell, because Hassan Campbell was going in on him, and he felt like, you know, we'll get into his words. But if you ask me, I don't feel like what Charleston did in terms of testifying, telling people what he did was wrong, and telling people that it was his friend who pretty much initiated this heinous act. And it's sad, you know, it's sad. But you know, I think what Charleston did was necessarily right. You know, he wasn't trying to be a criminal. He didn't want that to happen. You could say he's a survivalist, that he probably, you know, saw what the outcome was. He didn't want to go to jail. He didn't want to go to juvie. He didn't want to do 75 years. Of course not. So he said, you know what, let me throw this guy underneath the bus. He's not really my friend like that. That may have been what it is. But, you know, at the end of the day, you know, I think that we're looking at a 16-year-old Charleston White here. A 16-year-old Charleston White, I'm sure, did not want to spend the rest of his life in jail. A 16-year-old Charleston White, pretty much brain frontal lobe was probably not fully developed. And clearly he may have been running around with the wrong crowd. But let's play Charleston White. But me personally, I think that Charleston White, you could say he did the right thing. I'd say he did the right thing. You know, I think that he did the right thing by testifying against his friend, because he felt like his friend did something wrong, and he didn't want no parts of it. Right?
Just because you saw it, you still broke.
Now, but we're going to get into the arrogance of Charleston White, because Charleston White, I'm going to be honest with you, you fell in with the wrong crowd. You got a new lease on life, right? You know, your friend, he pretty much bit the bullet. You snitched on him, right? He bit the bullet. Salute to Sinclair. I see Sinclair's in the building. What's up, Sinclair? Yeah, but pretty much he bit the bullet. You know, he bit the bullet. You pretty much ratted on him. So you pretty much, you know, did the time for the crew. You did the time, and you snitched on your man. You should be a little bit more humble with this new lease on life, Charleston White. You know, whether you testified or not, you still ruined a life, because you was part of that flock. You was a part of that crowd. You were still a part of what happened. Did you testify? Did you cooperate? Yes, you did. But you still fell in with the bad crowd. You still fell in with a bad apple. And you should be a little bit more humble with your second lease. You're not in jail doing 75 years like the man you testified on. You should be a little bit more humble when you get on when you get on the internet, when you get on your Instagram, when you should be a little bit more humble. Because that could have been you. What if that was you, Charleston White, and your friend was on that stand testifying on you, and you were the one doing 75 years? You should be a little bit more humble, Charleston. You should be a little bit more humble with the freedom that you've been rewarded by way of testifying. But let's get into his words and what he thought of the video resurfacing when he was 16 years old, testifying against his friend.
A nigga said, we saw the Snitch video. So everybody saw it. It's been on the news before. Just because you saw it, you still broke. It don't change nothing. You still broke. I'm still rich. I'm still getting booked.
He's still arrogant. He's arrogant. You know, he could have Charleston, just tell people, listen, you wasn't with it. Your friend did something wrong. You felt in your heart that it was the best. It was the best for you to cooperate. You know, just you ain't got to come on here all arrogant. I think that there's a lesson here, Charleston. There's a lesson here. There's a lesson here for young men that saw that video of you testifying. There's a lesson here. The lesson is don't fall in with the wrong crowd. The lesson is pick better friends. That should be the lesson, not you coming on here talking about, oh, I don't care about this and I don't care about that, and I'm still getting money and I'm still doing it. That's not the lesson, Charleston. The lesson is teaching young kids to not fall in with the wrong crowd. The lesson is to not be a follower. Be a leader. Don't be a follower. You were a follower that night, Charleston. Yeah, you're not teaching the lesson. You're coming on here arrogantly, and I don't appreciate it.
Don't change nothing. Yeah, it don't change nothing. We seen the Snitch video. So, everybody's seen it before you.
Sinclair says he will be humbled. Yeah, like, honestly, he got a second lease, right? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, they could have easily, the police could have easily just jumped them, put them all in together, jumbled them all in together. We've seen this happen before. We've seen, going back to the case of the Central Park 5, where they pretty much, just lump everybody in together. And just everybody gets time. He could have been easily lumped in with his friend. He could have been doing 75 years. He could have been doing 30 years. And this is a man who clearly hasn't learned his lesson. He's been in jail a few more times after that whole heinous crime happened. Yeah, I think he should be teaching kids a better way, because there is a lesson to what happened to him and his friend.
You seen it. It used to be on the news. I keep telling y'all, I made the news before. All what y'all doing, people I already seen. So what, you seen it? You think they gonna stop booking me? You think they gonna stop interviewing me?
See, he's not giving the lesson. The lesson is don't fall in with the wrong crowd. He's not giving no lesson. He's talking about money. He's talking about, they still gonna book me. I'm still gonna get money. That's not the lesson, Charleston. Tell the young kids that are watching not to fall in with the wrong crowd. You fell in with the wrong crowd. It's not about money. You was a broke little ashy nigga. You was a broke, ashy, wet behind the ears little nigga. It wasn't about money. It was about you and your friends stealing starter jackets. Somebody lost their life because of you and your friends. You made poor decisions. You made bad decisions. And you being, you didn't want to bite the bullet. You didn't want to go to jail. So you testified against your friend. You should be telling young kids to not be a follower. But you're talking about your money.
You think people gonna stop? No, nigga. You still gonna be poor, and I'm still gonna be rich and famous.
That's not the lesson. The lesson is tell these kids stop being follower. You was a follower, Charleston. Charleston, that easily could have been you. That could have been you doing 75 years. You could have been the one doing 75 years. And your friend could have been the one, with all the money and you riding around, with this social media presence. You could have been the one biting the bullet.
It don't change nothing. We seen the Snitch video. So, yeah, nigga, I got a comedy show tomorrow night. We're gonna laugh about it on stage.
He's gonna laugh. You're gonna laugh about what you and your friends did that night? You're gonna laugh about what you and your friends did that night. Charleston, you were guilty by association. You were there. On all intent purposes, you were a co-conspirator. You ratted on your friend. You ratted on your friend to get up out of that situation. Yeah, I agree, Sinclair. He absolutely is arrogant. Absolutely arrogant. Absolutely has no type of decorum. He says that much arrogance does have a price. That's a fact. That's a fact. Yeah, he's very arrogant. He's very arrogant to that heinous crime that would happen. Let me finish up what he's talking about.
Yeah, that's part of the comedy show.
That's a part of the comedy show.
He must be new over here. He must be new over here. Well, yeah, we seen the Snitch video. So, my response to everything. So, ain't nobody gonna do nothing. Yeah, man. So what? Why you think I told, nigga? I don't give a damn, nigga. I ain't friends with nobody.
Wow.
16-year-old Charleston White took the stand and testified
Yo, we just saw that video. We'll play it one more time.
against his friend, Antoine Doolittle, who sat just a few feet from him and listened intently.
He pulled the hammer back on the gun.
Charleston White, that could have been you. You could have been the one in jail. Your friend could have testified against you. But listen, I don't like the arrogance. He does have a lot of arrogance on what he's saying. But do I think him testifying against his friend, do I think it was right? I think it was right. I think what him and his friends did was wrong. And if Charleston White just fell in with the wrong crowd, he had nothing to do with that man losing his life, and his friend was pretty much the one quarterback in that crime, then if Charleston felt like he was at the wrong place in the wrong time, and one of his friends did something wrong, then testifying against him, I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. But the arrogance, the not teaching people the lesson and what happened to you, that's my issue with Charleston. You're not telling the young kids that what happened is a cautionary tale, and maybe young kids can learn something from your story. You're laughing about it. You're making a joke about it. You're talking about you're gonna hop on a comedy stage and make a joke about it. Now here's Hassan Campbell. He talked about it as well. Let's get into it.
You have 30 minutes to finish your assignment.
Because Hassan Campbell, he talked about, of course, he had to talk about it. Second, y'all. Let's get into, man, YouTube going in with these commercials, man. Good grief. We just played this commercial. Hold on, y'all. Hold on.
When 16-year-old Charleston.
We just saw the video. The big
Shall
YouTuber.
we begin?
Let's see what the big YouTuber has to say.
What am I supposed to say? Other than the fact that seeing him on that stand made me sick to my stomach. When we was growing up, whether you was in the streets or not, I'm sorry. When we did wrong, we ain't tell on each other. When we did wrong, we didn't tell on each other. To see Charleston White sit on that stand like that, I mean, it speaks for itself. It's showing you just how desperate that man really is. And he would do anything for publicity.
Now, I'm going to tell you why that's not fair. Hassan Campbell, you're judging a 16-year-old Charleston White. Now, is he a deplorable human being today? Is he doing clown behavior? Has he learned his lesson from what happened that night? That's all in question. But at the time when this crime occurred, Hassan Campbell, this was a young man who, in my opinion, possibly may have fell in with the wrong crowd. Now, that doesn't absolve him from what happened that night, but he may have just fell in with the wrong crowd that night. And, his friend is doing, well, his former friend is doing 75 years. I mean, you gotta really take that into consideration. A 16-year-old with murder charges looming over him, possibly doing the rest of his life in jail. I mean, are we looking at any of that? I mean, he was supposed to keep it G, keep it gangster, hold it down. I mean, like what are we expecting from, you know, because Hassan Campbell just said it made him sick to his stomach to see Charleston White cooperating. My opinion is this is a 16-year-old. We got to stop doing this in the community. We got to stop saying all that non-snitching nonsense. That's all hogwash. A man lost his life over a couple starter jackets. I think that Charleston White cooperating was the right thing to do. Somebody lost their lives over something so ridiculous like that. And, you know, to be judging Charleston White, I do think you know, how Charleston White is talking about this and not framing this in a way of a cautionary tale. I think that's more of the problem. It's less of a problem of him testifying. You know, I think that him, catapulting his career. You know, I can't even say that. Let me take that back. Let's continue with the Hassan Campbell points.
It's not far-fetched to say when I told y'all that he was already working for the CIA.
Possibly.
Charleston White done told y'all in videos that he done presided over cases for judges in courtrooms.
I believe that. I think that he has and I think that he has made a point in his life to say that he's gonna be a rat now. He's gonna just cooperate and whatever he could use for his own personal gain. I mean, maybe that's the stance he's taken. You know, I think that may be true. That may be true.
Having a murder case, how would you do that, Sway? Personally, I've been told y'all that Charleston White was FBI, CIA. Y'all didn't listen. In the beginning, I should have listened to my instinct, my gut feeling, my hunch. I knew when Charleston White came in this game, he was coming in this game to be my replacement. But I listened to people, no, he's...
All right, now Hassan just sounds like a narcissist. I don't think Charleston White is trying to replace you, man. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know where he's going with this now.
Really for the youth. He's really an activist.
Yeah, that's cap. I'm going to be honest with you. Charleston White, you are not an activist, bro. I've seen your videos where you go to the town halls and you talk to the people. I've seen your videos where, and listen, even a broken clock is right twice a day. Sometimes Charleston White be speaking some real facts. Even a broken clock is right twice a day. But Charleston White is not an activist. He's a comedian. He's an entertainer. He's a social media influencer. This is not a activist. This is not somebody that you should be following. He has multiple videos of him talking about sexually assaulting white women. He has multiple videos where he's talking down, he's talking crazy about children and babies. This is not an activist. He's an entertainer. He's a social media influencer and an entertainer. So all that activism, I don't believe Charleston White is an activist.
Listen, man. Just me being real. Coming from where we come from, if you really, 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 truly, for our people, two things happen. One, you either get blackballed, they ignore you, the industry will not say your name. With all this Africa Bambaataa scandal and everything that I've been through, all of the mainstream media outlets that's part of the industry, they refuse to say my name. But
Sinclair says he's a rage baiter. That's another thing. That's a lot of thing. That's something else that people aren't really talking about. There's a lot of rage baiting for social media farming today. I see Kanye West doing it. I see Charleston White doing it. I see a lot of people doing that. That is what a lot of social media influencers are doing today. A lot of them are doing rage baiting, trying to, invoke some type of feelings out of people by way of their commentary.
But here it is, you have Charleston White all over the internet, right? Sitting up there, bragging about doing some of the most vicious things to white women and getting away with it. They're in an era, in a time of cancel culture, when niggas like Diddy and Epstein is going to jail, but Charleston White is making jokes and laughing and bragging.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, listen, like I said, Charleston White snitching and cooperating, on his friend. I like I said, I think that he did the right thing, right? I think he did the right thing by cooperating, and if his friend did the crime, cooperating. But this is what I want to know: is Charleston White? Does he have 1 foot in and 1 foot out? Is he like a Donnie Brasco? Anybody ever saw the film Donnie Brasco? Is Charleston White like a Donnie Brasco or something like that? Like, is he like 1 foot in one foot in the criminal aspect? The Donnie Brasco. Anybody seen the film Donnie Brasco with Johnny Depp? Does he have 1 foot in and 1 foot out? Like, does he be hanging around people that's doing these crimes, and as soon as the laws start coming around, he cooperates? Is he like one of these types? Because he talks real crazy. I'm starting to feel like maybe is he like a Donnie Brasco type? It's not necessarily he cares about the community. It's not necessarily he cares about cleaning up the community and getting the criminals off the street. It's more so him just being an opportunist, him just being a survivalist. It's not necessarily about him cleaning up the streets. It's about him having a get out of jail free card by way of snitching. That's how I'm starting to feel about it.
About doing the unthinkable. The white women and the white media on white platforms is letting him, Charleston White, get away with it. Things that make you go, I can't see through the smokes. I've seen people get kicked off of YouTube, like, for example, Tommy Sotomayor, that didn't say nowhere near what Charleston White's been saying.
That is a fact, but Charleston White, he's more so popping on the gram. He's not really popping. I don't think he even has a YouTube page. So Tommy had a page. But that's pretty much what Hassan Campbell was saying. And, in terms of Charleston White, like, we all know he's a rat. We all know he's a snitch. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with cooperating on people who commit crimes. I don't think there's nothing wrong with cooperating if you're not in the streets. But what I'm having more issue with is does Charleston have 1 foot in and 1 foot out? Like, that's what I'm starting to feel, because I feel like, he ratted on his friend, but he's sitting up here laughing about it. He's sitting up here making jokes about it. You should be happy and you should be thankful that you got a new lease on life, Charleston. You should be talking to kids and telling them this cautionary tale on what happened with you, but you're sitting up here laughing and making jokes about it. That's what I don't appreciate. I don't appreciate the arrogance. I don't appreciate him laughing about it, because someone lost their life here. And, he can sit up here and laugh and make jokes about it, but the families affected by the poor decisions that you and your friends made was detrimental. You and your friends destroyed someone's life. I mean, we just saw the video of that woman crying, and it's all over. There's some starter jackets. So, I don't like the arrogance. I don't like the nonsense. I don't like, how he's he kind of. I can't tell you where Charleston White came from. I don't know what video got him viral, or where he, I don't even know Charleston White's humble beginnings. But, I don't like the arrogance. I think Charleston White should be telling kids and, talking to kids about this cautionary tale of what happened with him and his friends. But let's bevy off of that. Let's get off into another topic. But, I think Charleston White, everybody knows he a rat. But I don't like the arrogance in how he's carrying himself. He should be really teaching kids and telling kids, giving them a lesson on what happened and what occurred. But let's get into Anthony Mackie, because I want to get into this Anthony Mackie situation. Anthony Mackie, he's made some comments about more so masculinity. Let me see if I can find that with masculinity and stuff of that nature. Yeah, let me see. That Hollywood is killing masculinity. I wanted to get into this.
Internet fly shit. Humble. I keep my boys humble. Like, my boys have never had a pair of Jordans. You know, my boys don't do all that internet fly shit. I'm like your kids. And no, I don't give a I could be the biggest star in the world. Do not let me catch you being stupid. Do not. And my oldest gets it. My 15-year-old, he tells the other ones, he's like, yo, don't make dad mad. Because once you get one that's right, he gonna straighten the other ones out. So it's
FBA
just that
hustle,
thing
what's
of,
good, man?
In the past 20 years,
What's good?
we've been living through the death of the
What's good, FBA hustle? What's good?
American male. They have literally killed masculinity.
Ooh, bring that back. You gotta bring that back. Hold on.
Straighten the other
That was crazy. That was crazy. Bring that back.
ones out. So it's just that thing of, in the past 20 years, we've been living through the death of the American male. They have literally killed masculinity in our homes and our communities.
Have they killed masculinity in American society? Let me know. Have they killed masculine? I have my theory, and I'm going to talk about a little bit my theory on what happened and what occurred.
For one reason or another. But I raised my boys to be young men. And however you feel about that, you feel about that. Right. But my boys will always be respectful. They will always say, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. No, sir, no, ma'am. They will always say thank you. They will always open the door for a lady. They will always make sure that their mother is taken care and provided for. They will always be men. And that's always, since they were 2 years old. Every time I left for a job, I tell my 15-year-old, you're the man of the house. You make sure these doors are locked every night, this alarm is on, you text me or you call me every night before you go to bed and you wake up.
I love that.
Because we're men. If I'm not there to protect, he got to be there to protect. Because you can have all the money in the world, climb through the window, that money means nothing. Right. You can have all the celebrity in the world, jump through the door, that celebrity means nothing. Yeah. So you got to have a little guard in there, you know? And so for me, it's always that idea of American masculinity is very different.
Let me know, has American masculinity dwindled? Has it dwindled? Listen, you know, I agree. I think that he did a great job articulating himself. He did a great job explaining how he holds down his household and what he's instilling in his young boys. I think he did a great job explaining and breaking it down. And I'm going to be honest with you, I think he's correct. I think he's correct. I think that we are a far way removed from masculinity in America. And, you know, I have my theory. I'll get into my theory a little bit later. But in terms of where we are in today's society, you know, like, you know, I feel like the men of the past were modeled men. Like when you think about men like your grandfather, when you think about men, you know, men in those, you know, that were coming up in the 50s and the 60s, they were quality men. These men worked with their hands. These men could fix anything. These men were modeled men. These men were married. These men had children. They had grandkids. We're not seeing men like that anymore. And, you know, when you add the effeminization of what's going on in our society, when you throw in the LGBTQs and the transgenderism and the, you know, especially in the Black community, where, and I think that the Black community is very guilty of this. We champion women all the time, respectfully, and I'm not saying that Black women don't need or deserve to be championed, because they absolutely do need to be championed and put on a pedestal. But what we see in the Black community is always female leaders, female leadership. Women, everything, you know, catered to the men. What are we instilling in our young boys? What are we instilling in our young men? We're not teaching the young Black boys of tomorrow to be upstanding Black men. We're putting on the YouTube, we're putting on the TV. They're letting hip hop raise them. They got the pants sagging. You know, they out here. They saying the N-word every 5 minutes, every 5 seconds. And then next thing you know, you got the LGBTQ. They're coming in and they're brainwashing your kids, and they're thinking that there's something wrong with them. So they get wrapped up in the LGBTQ agenda. American society and what is happening to our young men, we're far away removed from what masculinity is. We really are. You know? That's what I'm saying. Like we're very far away removed. You know, he said he ain't getting his kids no Jordans. Let me actually play it back just to talk about little things that he did say. 'Cause he did hit on some points that that I thought was very interesting. He said he don't buy his kids no Jordans. I ain't buying your ass no damn Jordans. You better get a job, buy some damn Jordans. I kind of respect it. Let's play that again.
I keep my boys humble.
Keeps his boys humble.
Like my boys have never had a pair of Jordans.
Never had a pair of Jordans, nigga. Nigga, I'm playing Captain America. Yeah, I'm on the screen playing Captain America. You know, I make about $3 million for a movie. I ain't buying you no damn Jordans. Better go out there and go get a damn job and buy yourself some damn Jordans.
You know, my boys don't do all that internet fly shit.
He's pretty much saying his boys ain't on Instagram and TikTok with a bonnet on their head, doing a bunch of TikTok dances, looking all zesty in the camera. That's what he's saying.
I'm like your kids, and no, I don't give a. I could be the biggest star in the world. Do not let me catch you being stupid.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much, he's saying, do not catch me on Instagram or on social media acting like a nigga. That's what I got. Don't let me catch you on Instagram acting like a nigga. FBA says, yo, check-in, did you do a review on the Iman Shumpert case? Yeah, I think I'm gonna talk about that tonight. I think I'll talk about that after this. We got a couple things to get to. I wanna talk about the Benny the Butcher police stop. We're gonna get to that too. But yeah, we'll talk about the Iman Shumpert case because that was interesting too. That was very interesting. Yeah, let me actually put that on the screen because yeah, that Iman Shumpert thing with the divorce and the money being allocated. That was crazy. So yeah, we may have to talk about that. The Iman Shumpert thing where he's like he lost a couple of houses and stuff like that. We got to talk about that. But let's continue with this video because there's some things we have to point out here. Let's continue.
Do not. And my oldest gets it. My 15-year-old.
Yeah. So he's saying pretty much like his kids are not online acting like fools. You're not gonna catch his kids online acting zesty. You're not gonna catch them with their pants sagging, acting like a nigga. You're not going to catch them or, acting a fool and embarrassing the family name. How many black households are doing that? How are we upholding black masculinity? Are we holding black boys accountable? Are we raising quality black men in our black communities? That's the question here. Let's continue.
He tell the other ones, he's like, yo, don't make dad mad.
Don't make dad mad.
Because once you get one that's right, he gonna straighten the other ones out. Mm-hmm. So it's just that thing of, in the past 20 years, we've been living through the death of the American male.
The death of the American male. And I agree. You gotta think, you have to understand, let me put it to you like this. If you are not doing a good job raising your son and your daughters too, but doing a good job raising your son, if you are not influencing them, or if you are not instilling in them quality values and morals, ethics, how to conduct yourself, if you are not instilling these values in your children, you know what's going to happen? The TV, the radio, the hip hop artists, the LGBTQ agenda, they are going to raise your child. If you don't take the time to instill these morals and values and principles and ethics into your children, what's going to happen is they're going to go to school. They're going to probably fall in line with some. They're probably going to befriend somebody that's bad for them. They're going to fall into the wrong crowd, and they're going to be indoctrinated, whether it be by the LGBTQ, whether it be by hip hop culture, whether it be slut culture, whether it be all these negative influences. If you are not doing a good job parenting, that's what's going to happen to your child. Fire! 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 And you see it today. Look at how they are effeminizing our black men. They are effeminizing our black men. Every time you turn on the TV, what do you see? Every time you turn on VH1, the BET, the MTV, you're watching television, you see some zesty black dude. You don't see no strong black men. You don't see no straight-legged, heterosexual, articulate, militant black men. You don't see that on the TV screen. They're not pumping that. That's not the agenda. The agenda that they're pumping is LGBTQ. Ratchetness. LGBTQ. Ratchetness. Ghetto. Sassy. Zesty. That's what they're pushing to the young black boys. Fire! 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 You know? That's what they're pushing to the young black boys. They're not pushing young black boys be militant. Young black boys be smart, be educated, be articulate. They're not pumping that. They want all of our black boys to be zesty, effeminate, ratchet, ghetto, N-word coming out of their mouth all the time, druggies, alcoholics, not taking care of their children. That's what the program that they're instilling into our young black boys. And I think that what Anthony Mackie is saying is real. It's real. And he's doing a great job.
They have literally killed masculinity in our homes and our communities for one reason or another. But I raised my boys to be young men. And however you feel about that,
are you raising your young black boys to be young men? And see, a lot. This is another thing, right? And because we have to keep it a buck. A lot of young black boys, they're being raised in single parent homes. They're being raised in single parent homes, right? Where there's not a fatherly presence. And that fatherly presence is important. You need both presence in a child life. You need that male, masculine, fatherly role, and you need that nurturing mother role. So a lot of black kids are missing that. And a lot of times that mother can't be there all the time to raise that child. That mother can't be there all that time to instill the values and the principles. She's a single mother. She's getting it out the dirt. She's doing the best that she can. And a lot of times these young black boys growing up in these types of households, they don't get the indoctrination that they need. They don't get those fatherly mentors that they need. It's a fact. They don't get that. And what we're having is LGBTQ. What we're having is hip hop culture indoctrinate these young black boys.
Feel about that. Right. But my boys will always be respectful. They will always say, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. No, sir, no, ma'am. They will always say thank you. They will always open the door for a lady. They will always make sure that their mother is taken care and provided for. They will always be men. And that's always since they were 2 years old. Every time I left for a job, I tell my 15-year-old, you're the man of the house. You make sure these doors are locked every night. This alarm.
See, and he's instilling responsibility in them. It's your job to lock the door. It's your job to put the security code in. It's your job to make sure your mother is safe, that she's doing good. It's your job. He's instilling responsibility in these young boys. Is that what we're teaching young black boys? We're not teaching young black boys that. We're letting the TV raise these kids. We're letting hip hop raise these kids. We're letting LGBTQ raise these kids. And make no mistake, all of these things are indoctrination. All of these things are indoctrination. When you allow your young black boy or your young daughter to watch VH1, Love and Hip Hop all damn day, they are being indoctrinated. They are being indoctrinated. When you let your young black boy, your young daughter sit in front of that idiot box all damn day watching Love and Hip Hop, watching Saucy Santana, some 300-pack silverback zesty nigga fight another dude over some D, you are indoctrinating your kid. When you sit your kid in front of that TV screen and they're watching two ratchet chicks fight over each other, over a bucket of chicken, you are indoctrinating your kid. When your kid is watching hip hop videos and he sees his favorite rapper with his pants sagging, toting his gun in the video, slapping girls on the ass, you are indoctrinating your kid. You're indoctrinating them.
Alarm is on. You text me or you call me every night before you go to bed and you wake up.
I love that.
Because we're men. If I'm not there to protect, he got to be there to protect. Because you can have all the money in the world, climb through the window, that money means nothing. Right. You can have all the celebrity in the world, you jump through the door, that celebrity means nothing. Yeah. So you got to have a little guard in there, And so for me, it's always that idea of American masculinity is very different.
Hold up.
Salute to Anthony Mackie. He did a great job articulating that point.
Fire!
Now, so on the JBP, that's the Joe Budden podcast, Melissa Ford, she gave a little pushback on Anthony Mackie's point on masculinity and things of that, and she gave a little pushback in terms of she what her point was that masculinity today is a problem. In fact, let's play the video. I think the video will do a better job explaining, because I don't want to put words in her mouth. But Melissa Ford gave a little pushback on Anthony Mackie's comments.
I know you yelling, but
we just talking about.
1 second.
I hear you. I'm telling you, as a man with a daughter,
we got that part.
But you can't.
We're talking about just men.
I know you yelling, but
we just talking about men.
I understand.
We're not talking about your daughter, your mom, your sister. We got that part. This conversation started and should end with.
Hold on 1 second, because the name of this video is Melissa Ford and Joe Budden get into a heated debate about Anthony Mackie's and his thoughts about how masculinity in young men is being erased, which it is. It is. Listen, our young boys are in a sad state. So masculinity is definitely being erased in young boys. They don't want young black boys to be masculine. They don't want young black boys to be militant. They don't want young black boys to be articulate. They want young black boys to be dumb, deaf, and blind. They want them, drugged up. They want them zesty, effeminate. They don't want another Malcolm. They don't want another Malcolm. They don't want another black, militant, articulate, smart black man. They don't want that. Let's get into this point.
I hear you. I'm telling you, as a man with a daughter,
we got that part.
But you can't.
We're talking about just men.
I know you yelling, but
we just talking about men.
I understand.
We're not talking about your daughter, your mom, your sister. We got that part. This conversation started and should end with men telling you about men and the erasure of men.
Yes.
You don't need to speak to somebody with a daughter to see how a man feels. Speak to a fucking man.
Okay,
let her gush it off.
No,
please.
No, he
Please continue.
He completely shut down everything that I put. No, because I can't respond to the Doshi thing. I can't respond to the bear thing.
Respond.
I can't because it all factors in. It does. My fucking argument, when you keep bringing up this bear shit, it's fucking pissing me off because you are being willfully.
Y'all ever heard about that? Y'all ever saw the when women have that debate? If you were in the because they're going into that. Y'all ever saw that though? where they asked women, if you were in the woods alone by yourself, who would you trust? Would you rather trust a bear? I just want to I don't know if any of y'all ever heard. If any of y'all ever heard of that, who would you trust in the woods, a bear or a man? And a lot of women say they would trust a bear. You mean a person with humanity, a man with humanity, a man who is taught to provide, a man that is taught to protect. You would rather trust an animal. You would rather trust an animal that is trained to kill, that is trained to inflict all types of harm and pain to you. You would rather trust a bear in the woods alone, naked and afraid, over a man. Now, let me just play that. Who would you trust in the wood? Who would? Because hold on. I just want to play this real quick. Who would you trust in the woods? Man or bear? A lot of women say bear. Hold on, let me see.
Most men are not terrible.
If you were stuck in the woods, would you rather be encountered by a bear or a random man?
Bear. Don't trust men.
Take my chances with a bear.
I'm going to be encountered by a bear.
By a bear.
They won't question what you're wearing if you got attacked by a bear.
You could run away. You could protect yourself. A man, he's going to be like, you need to be in my space. I'm a man. Why you not in my space?
Very deceitful.
A random man. A lot of weightlifting. Most men are not terrible. A lot of them are, but not all of them.
Do you think it's crazy that so many women said bear instead of a person?
No.
Yeah, a lot of women say bear. That's like a whole thing that's been happening, where women say they trust a bear over a man in the woods. It's crazy. This is very crazy. But let's get back into this video where Melissa Ford was talking about that whole
Fucking obtuse. All right, stay fucking there. You two, you have daughters.
Sinclair said, "I'll take a man over the bear." Sinclair said, "Yes, I'd take a man bear. A bear would eat me alive." Exactly. That's what I'm saying, man. We've talked about this before. I feel like in today's society that a lot of women are trained to hate men. A lot of women are trained to hate men. A lot of women are not like Sinclair. They're not gonna say, "I would rather trust a man," or "I would rather be in the woods with a man over a bear." A lot of women would say, "Nah, I want to be in there with the bear. I want to know the bear. Me and the bear, we can make honey together. We'll be in there like Winnie the Pooh." A lot of women are not like Sinclair. A lot of women, they would rather be in the woods with a bear. They'll take their chances with the bear. FBA says our woman was trained to be against us. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. A lot of women are trained to be against men. That's a fact.
Mm-hmm. What is it that you are teaching your daughters in terms of when they go out into the world, how to conduct themselves? Only in terms of their sense of personal safety. Who do they need to keep themselves safe from? Who? And don't just answer the question.
People. Yeah, I was gonna say the world.
Okay.
The world.
Can you be a little bit more specific?
People, like he said, I get where you're trying to go with that. I'm not sitting there. I mean, I'm not at that point yet, but it's not. Hey, look out for men. Look out for boys. No,
I can answer
look
that.
out for people.
Okay.
People are
and
fucked up out here today.
And I'm just asking you two specifically.
Wait, hold on. I have a 15-year-old daughter.
He can answer better than I can.
I have a 15-year-old daughter. I tell her to be on the lookout for people, jealous girls, but I also tell her to be on the lookout for older men that's trying to prey on younger girls, offering rides and stuff like that. Is that what you're getting at? I tell her that, but that's what you learn in growing up, and that's some men do that.
What's up, Angela? What's up?
No, and that is fair, and that is fucking accurate. I can tell you stories of when I was 11 and 12. No, fuck that. 8. We had a handyman that used to come to the house. And one day my father was just like, my parents worked. And my dad was literally like, he's coming to the house, just give him the money for the work that he did, blah, blah, blah. He came to the house. I was there alone. He was drunk. And he tried to do some shit to me. It was fucking terrifying because I'm in my own fucking house. And this is somebody that my parents fucking trusted.
Now, let me stop right there. Because I think that a lot of women, respectfully, they take these negative experiences that they've had with men and they make it indicative of the whole gender. And listen, I'm not trying to downplay any young woman that has been sexually assaulted, victimized, because I've heard the horror stories and I understand a lot of women have been victimized. A lot of women have been sexually assaulted when they were young. when they were in their teenage years, when they became an adult. A lot of women have been sexually assaulted, victimized, have been preyed upon. That is absolutely a fact. But to sit up here and to make that indicative of all men, you're going to totally negate the great man your father was, the great men, maybe your uncles you had, the great men that you've had in your life, the honest and good men that you've came across, your grandfather, the great men that you may have dated. Maybe things didn't work out, but you realized he was a good guy. How about your son? If you have a good son, you raise your son to be a good boy. You're going to totally negate all of the good men, but you're going to zero in on the negative experiences and the predators and the people preying on. I feel like women do that a lot. And they make that indicative, and they make that the argument. They don't want to talk about all of the good men that they've had in their lives. They don't talk about all the quality men that they've come across. They zero in on the predators and the prey, which I'm not gonna sit up here and act like that doesn't exist. That absolutely exists, and it does happen. And a lot of women, when they were younger, or whatever age they were absolutely victimized. But to make that indicative of all men, that would be like me messing around with a girl, dating a girl, and let's say she drugged me and robbed me. Now I'm going to say all women are like this. All women just want to drug you and rob you. All women are scam artists. All women are out to rob you and taking advantage of you. I'm not thinking about, the quality woman that my mother was. I'm not thinking about the quality and good woman that my aunties were, my grandmother was, or the women that I've dated, or the little girl that I raised, that's my daughter. I feel like a lot of women have these, horror stories, and they're sad, and what happened to them is sad, but you're making that indicative of all men. All men are not like that. That's a fact. One second. Sinclair says, my father never allowed any man in our home unless he was home ever. That's what's up, and that's indicative of a lot of kids. A lot of parents are protective like that. They're not gonna let they're not gonna let people be around their kids. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. Especially when you have young daughters. Like you don't want no people around your young daughters like that. And they're not family, or they're not trusted around your kids. So what happened to Melissa? What I'm hearing, what happened to her? I mean, that's sad. That's sad. But let's continue.
And he came there drunk, and it was really fucking bad. That is just one experience. There's so many more that I can talk about that happened before the age of fucking 16 years old. The reality is that you can be in the safest environment, and still there will be a situation that unfolds where you need to teach your daughters to be careful of predatory boys and men. And I'm not talking about people.
Yeah, like she has to. She's making, like, we have to keep it real. Predators exist in both genders. That's what a lot of women don't want to talk about. So are you trying to tell me, Melissa, that there's no predators in the female race? There's never been a female predator? You're gonna tell me that young boys shouldn't watch out for predators that are females? You're going to tell me all of those young female teachers? I put it on the screen before. Let's put it up back on the screen. Teacher sleeps with student. You going to tell me that there's no female predators? All of these female teachers? Put it on the screen. Put it on the screen, because it's so many women. You going to tell me none of these females are predators? Because you're trying to zero in on just men, predators. You have to watch out for men. If you got young girls, watch out for men. Men, they're predators. They're gonna prey on your young daughter. They're predators. What about the female predators, Melissa? What about the female predators that exist that are preying on young boys, preying on little young boys? We have to stop acting like predators don't exist in both genders. They exist in both genders. Bad people are just bad people. That's a fact. Bad people are just bad people. FBA says, I don't care what race we are. This message can be received by all good people. That's a fact. We just have to keep it a buck that they're bad people are just bad people. To make this a thing where, men are the issue, men are the predators in society, I highly disagree with that. There are a lot of good men. There are a lot of quality men. There are a lot of righteous men. There are a lot of God-fearing men. There are a lot of men of value and a lot of men of morals and ethics and code. But there are also slums of our society. There are also terrible men. There are also predators. And that also exists in the female gender. There are female predators. How many times have we seen a story of a female teacher having an inappropriate relationship with the damn students? See? Angela just said it. We just had that discussion. Angela. I think that discussion is a ridiculous discussion, Angela. The whole bear thing. Angela, let's be real here. Let's walk this thing down. Let's really predicate this. Let's really walk this down. Because I'm gonna challenge your point right now, Angela, and we're gonna get back to the Melissa Ford thing. Let's challenge this concept of the bear and the man. Let's really challenge this, right? How much does a average bear weigh? Angela, the average bear weighs 600 pounds. So you're telling me that you would rather be in the wilderness with a bear that weighs 600 pounds? Killing machine. All it knows is kill, especially if it's a female bear. If it's Angela, if you are in the woods, let me tell you something, Angela. If you are in the woods with a female bear and they have at least 1 or 2 cubs and they see you, they will not show any type of mercy. If it's a male bear, it may be a little startled by you. It may just run away. If it's a female bear and they don't have any cubs, they're not hormonal, they may just, pay you no mind and just go the other way. But if we're talking about a 600-pound bear in the wilderness with at least 1 or 2 cubs, if they see you, they are going to delete you. That's a fact. Let's look this up. Biting force of a bear. How powerful. Because this is such a ridiculous argument. A bear's bite force is incredibly strong, with grizzly bears and polar bears, having bite forces measured around 1,160 and 1,200 pounds per square inch, respectively, which is significantly stronger than a human bite. Angela, we're talking about a bite that has the power force to break the bone in your arms. You are telling me that you would rather be in the wilderness with a 600-pound black bear, right? With 2 cubs that is hormonal, ready to kill, with a bite force that could break your arm. Are you telling me you would, even if the man was a disgusting man, even if the man was a predator, even if the man was the worst thing on the planet, you have a better chance fighting off a man than you have fighting off a black bear? That's a fact. You could fight off a man. You could go toe to toe with a man. You may be able to get the upper hand. You may be able to knock him out. You may be able to get a punch through. You may be able to grab a weapon. You don't have a chance against a 600 black bear laying on top of you. You don't have a chance. Hold on. Because Angela talking about she has a better chance with the bear. Let me hear this. Hold on. Angela says, yes, I can handle the bear. You lay on the ground and play dead. The bear will eventually leave you alone. Angela, that sounds hot. That sounds hot. That sounds hot, Angela. Like I said, if that's a 600-pound female bear, and they have cubs, they don't care if you're playing dead. No. I don't care that you're playing dead. You're going to be dead for real. And then you can play dead. A 600-pound hormonal bear does not care if you play dead. This is not the movies where you see something on Google, you see something on a YouTube video, and you think it's going to work. A bear ain't trying to hear that. And they're still gonna find out if you're alive or not. They're still gonna be biting you. They're still gonna be looking at you as some type of threat. They're still gonna be laying on top of you. They're still gonna and what are you gonna do? Are you still gonna play dead when they bite your arm? When they bite your arm and they break the forearm bones in your arm, are you still gonna play dead? When they bite your calf and they break the calf bone in your leg, are you still going to play dead? Or are you going to scream out in pain and anguish? Yeah, I think what's up, Eco? I think that this whole argument of the woman and the bear, like, come on, let's be real, Angela. Let's be real. You wouldn't stand a chance against a bear in the woods. You would not stand a chance against a 600 black bear. See, what you women think, a lot of you women, y'all think y'all gonna get in that woods and you're gonna meet Winnie the Pooh. You think you're gonna go in the woods and you're gonna meet Winnie the Pooh. That's what you think. You think you're gonna go in there with a jar of honey and it's gonna be like Winnie the Pooh. You're gonna be what was Winnie the Pooh's friend? Hold on. Winnie the Pooh. What was that nigga's name, friend? What was that nigga's name? It was Winnie the Pooh and the little white nigga. What was that nigga's name? Y'all think you think you're gonna be in the woods like this? This is what you think. You think you're gonna be in the woods with a jar of honey, running around. That's what y'all women think. Y'all think y'all gonna be in the woods with the bear with a jar of honey. Y'all gonna be playing patty cake. You've been playing patty cake with the bear. That's what y'all women think. Y'all think it's gonna be like a little fairy tale. Y'all think y'all gonna be in there. I think the nigga name was Oliver, right? Winnie the Pooh and Oliver. Hold on. Winnie the Pooh. What was that nigga's name? Oliver. Yeah, you think you're gonna be in there with Winnie the Pooh and Oliver, bro? You think you're gonna be in the woods like that? You're not gonna be in the woods like this. You're not going to be playing patty cake with the bear. That 600-pound bear is going to lay on top of you. That 600-pound bear will not be showing you any remorse. That's a fact. So I think that whole bear and, that whole bear and female thing, it's a ridiculous argument. Any woman that believes that is ridiculous. I'm gonna be honest. But let's get back into what Melissa Ford was saying.
I know.
Because
I know.
Can I ask you a question?
Can I ask you a question?
Just wait one.
Oh, yeah, that's Christopher. My fault. Yeah, why I thought the nigga name was Oliver? Yeah, Christopher and Winnie the Pooh. Why I thought that nigga name was Oliver? Hold on, Christopher. Christopher, Winnie the Pooh. Yeah, why I thought the nigga name was Oliver? Yeah, Christopher. Yeah. Women think they're gonna be in the woods like this. This is not realistic. This is not realistic. You're not gonna be in the woods with a bear like this. You're not gonna be in there, playing patty cake, doing each other hair in the woods, eating on a jar of honey. That's not realistic. That's not realistic. All right. Well, let's get back into what Melissa was saying.
Second, anything can fucking happen.
That story about the handyman, was your dad there for that?
No, he wasn't. He was at work. It was during the day. It was like fucking noon or something like that.
Mel,
Okay, now, so hold on.
There
No,
are systematic efforts that are out there to discredit and silence the black man.
I'm not talking.
But you have to acknowledge that too, Mel.
I'm not.
Mel, wait. Listen, you you should acknowledge the fact that there is a movement to discredit the black man.
That's a fact. That's a fact. There is a movement to discredit black men. They want black men to be effeminate. They want black men to be docile. They want us drugged up, alcoholed up. They don't want us to. They don't want another Malcolm. They don't want another strong, articulate brother. They want every black man. That's the future generations of black men. They want them zesty. They want them ratchet. They want another King Von. They want another Saucy Santana. They don't want another Malcolm. They don't want another articulate brother out there. They don't want another strong leg brother out there. Look at what they're feeding our children. Look at the ignorance that they're feeding them. So there absolutely is an agenda against black men.
To discredit men.
The straight black man.
The straight, it
Not
is,
just black
man.
men, the straight
Online,
black man.
they're showing that women have all this power and women are in control of the home and the black men are not here to take care of their
Legislation says
children.
different.
Legislation where?
Legislation that's being passed, Roe v. Wade being overturned, the anti-abortion laws. There is literally...
We're talking about social media that's being fed to our children.
Okay.
And now if you go on here, there's always something to discredit the black man.
Mm-hmm.
You know that and I know that. So that's what the point we're getting at is that there's something that's going on. Not taking away that there's not, we know that there's predators out there. We know that there's men out here that
Exactly. We know that there's predators. Nobody's disavowing that there's predators in the male gender. Nobody's disavowing that. That is not the argument. There are predators in the male race, but what we often don't talk about is female predators. We only focus on the male predators. There's female predators as well. So, that whole argument about the man, the bear being more safe than the man, I mean, men can say that about women. But if there's a young boy in the woods, who should the young boy, let me ask y'all this, who should the young boy trust in the woods? The 13-year-old boy in the woods. Who would he rather be in the woods with? Should he be in the woods with a female teacher or a bear? Should he trust a bear? Or are we just gonna say every female teacher is a predator? Every female teacher is preying and being a predator on young boys. Because that's how women sound. They're saying that all men are predators. All men are dangerous. All men. But you're totally negating all the positive men. You're totally negating the good man your father was, the good man your uncle was, the good man your brother was, the good man your grandfather was, the son that you raised and him being a good man. They're totally negating all of that. And you're just holding the few instances and the few slum bags that you probably met and the few predators that you've met in your life, and you're saying, no, we cannot trust men because of these few instances. That's how women sound to me. That's how the argument sounds to me. And I want women to answer that question. If it's a young 12-year-old boy in the woods, Should the young 12-year-old boy, should he trust a bear or should he trust a female teacher? Because hold on, because I'm only using that argument against y'all. Female teacher, hold on, arrested. Hold on, I'm using this female argument against y'all. Because if I look at the news and if I look at what society tells me that a female teacher cannot be trusted in the woods with a young boy. Because I see scenario after scenario after scenario, story after story after story of young boys being and female predator teachers preying on them. So if I turn your argument around on you, would you say that that's true as well? Or are you at least going to look at the widespread argument and say, okay, every female teacher is not like that. Yeah, there's a few predators. There's a few of them that slip through the cracks. There's a few of them that are like that. There's a few of them, but this is not indicative of every female teacher. Let's get back into the clip.
Take advantage. But there's also a lot of great men out there that take care of their family, that provide for their children, that protect the home, and that's not being highlighted anymore.
In no way, shape, or form am I fucking denying that at all. I'll highlight it as much as possible.
You don't when you say I'd rather be around a bear.
Oh my God, literally.
You don't though when you say that.
Stop, because the fucking bear is literally just a fucking extreme metaphor for the high incidence rate of fucking sexual assault against women and girls.
I thought she was going to say the R word. That's why I paused.
It is a fucking metaphor. Get over it, okay?
No.
That has nothing.
So if we use that same argument, then we can use that argument against women. Young boys should not be trusted around female teachers. If you have a young son right now, if any of you guys are parents, because I'm using the argument that women are using against men. You're saying that women are saying that men cannot be trusted in the woods. They'd rather trust a bear. So okay, now I'm saying this: young boys can't be trusted around female teachers. They need to take every female teacher out the school. Because every time I turn on my TV, I keep seeing a female teacher victimizing a young boy. So I don't think any female teacher should be trusted. Hold on. I'm using your arguments against y'all. Because to me, the argument is ridiculous. Hold on. Angela says, most female teachers are not predators. I would let my boy go to the woods with a female teacher. That's the point, Angela. Most men are not this is what I want to know. This is what I want to know from women. Do you think that most men are predators? We need to know. Do you think most men are predators? Because essentially you're saying that, because this is my argument, Angela. My argument is exactly what you're saying. My argument is most men are not predators. I would let a man be I would trust a man in the woods. I'm just using your argument. I would say that most men are not predators, but women are saying that, you can't trust men regardlessly. No, we can't trust no man in the woods. I don't care if he's a good man, is he a bad man. They don't care about the content of his character. They don't care about his morality. They don't care if it's his honor system. They don't care what he stands for. Angela says, you are taking a small percentage of female predators and overgeneralizing to fit your wrong argument. You're taking a small percentage of male predators and making them fit your argument. Every man is not a predator. You're taking the small percentage of men that are predators and saying that, we can't trust men in the woods because these percentage of men are not predators. Is every man a predator? If every man is a predator, every man would be in jail right now. Every man would be doing crime right now. That means your father, your grandfather, your uncle, your cousin, your brother, your son, your grandson. Are you telling me all of these men are predators? Just let me know. You telling me all of these men are predators? But you're trying to make that argument only fit for women. You're trying to make that argument only fit for women. Let's look at men. Every man is not a predator, but you're trying to make this argument work for them. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Most men are not in jail for being a predator, though. See, I'm done with this argument. She just said, Angela just said, most of the prison population is male. Most men are not in jail for sex crimes, though. Every man in jail is not in there for sex crimes. There's men in jail for fraud, men in jail for murder, men in jail for robbery, armed robbery. And truth be told, in a lot of prisons, if we're going to be honest with you, in most prisons, if men find out that you're in jail for some type of sex crime, whether you've touched a child, whether you've assaulted some woman, these men get packed up. These men get dealt with. These men get victimized in jail. Let a dude go to jail. Let a dude go to jail, and he got paperwork that says he sexually assaulted some woman. He violated some woman. Let a man go to jail with some paperwork talking about he did something to a child. He go to a cell block. That man is gonna get stabbed up 100 times. It's a ridiculous argument. It's a ridiculous argument. You know, and I really feel like it's really just rooted in women hating men. It's not rooted in logic. It's not rooted in anything else, but just women hating men. I'm convinced that it's rooted in this women hating men. It's not rooted in common sense. It's not rooted in generality. It's rooted in just women just having some type of gripe with men, you know. And listen, I'm not trying to say that it's not by way of, I think that, some women have had bad experiences. Some women have had some traumatic things happen to them. Like I said, I'm not trying to say that that's not true. It's absolutely true. Women have had some horrific things happen to them. So, I think that that's real. But I think that a lot of it is just grounded in just women hating men. It's not grounded in logic. It's not grounded in just reality. It's grounded in just hatred for men. But let's continue.
Nothing to do with the erasure of the concept of the straight fucking men. It has nothing to do with it. It has to do with sexual assault.
Melissa
That is
Ford.
it. That is it. That is all. That is it.
But
That is all.
But what does
Hold
that
up,
teach you?
please let me get this
Go ahead,
1v1 with her, please. And we don't have to yell and get hostile here.
Okay,
We don't have to
you're
do that.
right, but I'm very frustrated by the way
I
that
hear you.
conversation has been handled
receive
over
you.
the course of
we
months
understand
over
that, man.
here.
I receive
Especially
you,
for
but a
somebody who has
man-
literally experienced it. Literally experienced it more times than I
Melissa
care to
Ford.
count.
It goes into what I'm saying. A lot of these women have dealt with being victimized, being preyed upon, and they're letting that experience say, well, all of men can't be trusted. All of men are capable of doing this. A lot of these women are hurt because they've been through these traumatic things. Respectfully, no disrespect to them, but I think a lot of women have a gripe with men because they've been victimized before. Respectfully.
I'm going to say this in closing because I feel like we have rehashed the bear conversation a bunch.
That's true.
But if the bear conversation is being had through the lens of only sexual assault victims and victims of sexual violence, then you have now answered a question while erasing the rest of the field of men, good men, cornerstone men, legacy building great men.
That's what I am saying. That's a fact. Angela says, if men get criticized, they call it male hate. First of all, there's nothing wrong with men being criticized. Men get criticized all day. It's not about men being criticized. I'm just using your point on what you're saying about men. You're saying that men are predators. You're saying that men can't be trusted in the woods with women. I'm saying, and what you're pointing to, when you're saying that there's a high population of men in jail and yada, 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 and women are victimized, and I'm hearing your argument, and then I'm saying, I'm using your argument against you. I'm saying, well, listen, a lot of young boys are being preyed upon by school teachers. So if I use your argument and I say, well, if there's a young boy in the wilderness, who should he trust? Should he trust the teacher, or should he trust the black bear? I would rather, me personally, I know that every female teacher is not a predator. I know that every female teacher is not a bad person. I would rather that young boy be with a female teacher. But if I look at what society says, if I look at what everything else is saying, what TV is saying, I see a bunch of young boys getting preyed upon by female teachers. So, I just feel like, it's just a ridiculous argument. But like I said, like, there's nothing wrong with men being criticized, but we have to be logical. We have to be logical. We have to be logical here. I don't think that it's a logical argument. It's a ridiculous argument.
You are erasing that and answering the question through the lens of trauma and pain and horrible experiences with men.
That's a fact. But they're not talking about that point. The women that are hurt and the women that are saying, I trust the bear, they're not looking at that point. You are looking through the lens of being hurt. You are looking through the lens of being assaulted before. You are looking through the lens as a woman who has been violated before. You're not looking at it in a rational way. You're not looking at it in a logical way. You're looking at it through the lens of being hurt. That's a fact.
So when you hear Anthony Mackie describe what it is to be a man, where is the confusion at? We're not talking about men that do that. We're talking about men, and men should be acknowledged.
Because the two things have nothing to fucking do with each other. Listen, all right, look, just wait.
Okay.
Just wait.
I'm done.
The idea...
Because she's not going to get it no matter what you say.
But
you don't get it.
But
you don't get it. You don't get it.
Do you feel like you're part of the problem because you also highlighted that pressure could be too much for the 15-year-old son? That's the first thing you went to.
We are going all over the fucking place. No, I'm just saying that. Listen, whoa. Just
I'm gonna be honest. I think that a lot of women, I don't think that they're realizing it. You're speaking from a place of being hurt. You're not speaking from a place of rationale and logic. I just think she's speaking from a place of just being hurt. She talked about it when she was 8 years old. She had a bad experience. Her father left her home with some type of plumber, some type of handyman, and he tried to make a move on her, something weird or something like that. She talked about it. She said there's numerous of instances. So if you have numerous of instances of you being preyed upon, you being victimized, of course you're going to say, oh, I can't trust men. But you're not being logical about the situation. You're not looking at it through a lens of you're looking at it through a lens of being victimized. You're not looking at it through a lens of being logical. Every man is not out to be a prey upon you. Every man is not being a predator towards you. Hey, yo, listen, man. If women want to take their chances in the woods with a bear, then hey, man, enjoy yourself, man. Hey, man, I wish you luck in the wilderness with the bear. I wish you luck. Let's get into the next. I'm getting to the next topic, bro, because I feel like women are just gonna be hurt about that situation regardless. And I'm not trying to, like I said, I'm not trying to downplay that women haven't been victimized. A lot of women have been victimized. I'm not going to sit up here and sit front like they haven't been victimized. A lot of women have been victimized when they were younger. That's a fact. I understand. But to make that indicative of all men, to say that all men are responsible for that, to say that all men are praised and all men should be accountable for that, that's ridiculous. That's not logical. And I think
you have 30 minutes to
I think that's the core problem, that women aren't thinking, they're not thinking logical. They're thinking in the place of being hurt. And it's okay. It's all good, man. Let's get into this next situation. So the rapper Benny the Butcher, he got pulled over. Yeah, we're getting to the next topic. We're gonna kind of get. Oh yeah. Actually, before I get to this, let me get to this Amon Shepard situation. me get to that. Let me get these. Let me get these female predators off the screen. Let me get these female predators off the screen. Hold on. Amon Shepard. Excuse me, y'all. Amon Shepard and Tiana Taylor, they got divorced, and a lot of people are talking about the settlement here. The settlement is very one way, and I wanted to know you guys' opinion, but this is gonna be probably a little short. Her mother's coming to her defense. Yeah, I just wanna show what Tiana got. Tiana really got a really sweet deal. I mean, a lot of these divorce courts, I mean, they seem like they're more geared towards the women. I mean, here you have a former NBA player. Amon Shumpert, he's not making money like he used to. That's another thing that people aren't really realizing. Like, Tiana secures a multi-million-dollar divorce settlement from Amon Shumpert. Tiana Taylor and Amon Shumpert have finalized their divorce after months of legal proceedings, with a multi-million-dollar settlement bringing an end to their high-profile split. Taylor, celebrity singer, actress. Okay, we understand who you are. But this was the settlement. A major highlight of the settlement in the division of assets, particularly real estate. Taylor now has full ownership of 4 high-value properties, including their former family home and their Georgia residence, with a combined worth of $10 million. Taylor also secured a substantial one-time 7-figure financial payout division of their luxury vehicles, with Taylor retaining ownership of 300,000 Maybach and a 70,000 Mercedes, a Sprinter. Shumpert also agreed to the monthly child support, $8,000 per month. I'm gonna be honest with you. The divorce court, divorces could be very, very, very nasty. But we really have to talk about how men are being victimized in divorce courts. They're being victimized. Let's really get to some real victims here. First of all, we have to realize that, like I said, Amon Shumpert is a former NBA player. This man, he's not making the bucks like he used to. And NBA players, they go broke. They go broke if they don't find some type of broadcasting deal with the NBA, if they're not in there commentating, if they don't have some type of podcast, and they don't have any money coming in. A lot of these NBA players go broke. So now you're telling me a former NBA player who's worked his whole life playing basketball. Now, let me see Amon Shumpert's career earnings, because we can look this up. Amon Shumpert. I just want to see his career earnings, because the man had 4 homes to the total of $10 million. Hold on. Contract. Hold on. Oh yeah, Sports Track. So we can look and see how much this man made during the course of his career. Because I think that this is kind of tragic. Let me see if they have his career earning. Maybe I should just put it in. Let me see. Where's your career earning? Okay, they broke it down at yearly. He got a $40 million contract one time. I'm looking for his career earnings. Where is this nigga career earnings? Let me put it in Google. Unless I have it here. Where is this nigga career earnings? Hold on. I just want to see his career earnings. Amon Shumpert. Career earnings. Because this man ain't playing basketball no more. This nigga's at home and on the couch, He don't have $40 million coming in anymore. Those days is over. He's not playing for Cleveland. He's not, Why is my computer acting up? Shumpert. Career earnings. There we go. Okay, so Amon Shumpert career NBA earnings totaled approximately $48.2 million across 10 seasons. So he made about $48 million through his whole career. His whole career, he played 10 seasons in the league, and he only made $48 million, which is great money. We can't golf at that. But the man just lost a couple of his houses totaling worth $10 million. So the man, and let's be real, like Tiana Taylor, she's no Madonna. She's no Rihanna. She's no Beyonce. She's no pop star. This is a woman who, you know, and don't get me wrong, I'm sure she makes good money on the road. I'm sure she makes, you know, good money on the road. I'm sure she, you know, tours and makes some good money every night, whatever, right? But she ain't never made $48 million throughout her whole career. I highly doubt that. Most of the money, most of the houses that they brought was by way off of the hard work that Iman Shumpert has done. This man just lost 5 of his houses, luxury vehicles, Sprinter vans, not on top of all of that. So he lost all of those houses. All of those houses he lost, and then to come to add to injury, he has to pay her. He has to pay her $8,000 in child support. Yeah, listen, these divorce courts, they victimize men. And you have to ask yourself, is it really worth men getting married? And I'm talking about high value men. I'm not talking about men that don't have nothing. If you don't have anything, you don't have any assets, you don't have a home, you don't have a good paying job, we're not talking about you. I'm talking about men of value. If you have a company, right, that's doing well, if you have a high paying job, if you got a few homes in your name, if you have assets, investments, is it really worth getting married in this day? Because we keep seeing men be victimized by way of the divorce courts. Men are being victimized. For you to play your whole career in the NBA, 10 seasons, hard work, running up and down that court, running in every practice, showing up for every practice, balling with LeBron, playing against some of the best players in the league, and for you to lose all of your money, and when we're talking about the houses that he allowed her to have, that is money. He allowed her to take $10 million. Pretty much, he allowed her to take $10 million of his money. Yeah, I think it's very prejudiced. I think it's very messed up how the divorce courts are. And I'm not saying that women don't deserve anything. I'm never going to sit up here and say that a woman that's been married for a significant amount of time doesn't deserve any of the man's money. That's not what I'm going to say. If a woman has been in a man's life for a very long period of time and she held him down, she had his kids, I'm not going to sit up here and say that she doesn't deserve anything. She absolutely deserves something. Absolutely deserves something. She definitely deserves a house or two. She definitely deserves some alimony. She definitely deserves some spousal support. But for her to take $10 million of his homes, luxury vehicles, as a retired player that doesn't have money coming in, I mean, I think that's kind of sad. Iman Shumpert can't get on stage and sing for the rest of his life. No matter what you say about Tiana Taylor, she could go on stage for the rest of her life. She got a few hit songs. She got a few songs that she could go tour. She gonna have money coming in. What is Iman Shumpert supposed to do? What is Iman Shumpert supposed to do with the rest of his life? He just lost $10 million worth of homes. He has to pay $8,000 a month of spousal support. He lost a couple of his vehicles. What is he supposed to do to take care of himself? What is he supposed to do to pick himself up? He just lost $10 million of his career earnings. And we don't care about the men. We don't care about the men in society. We don't care about how they're losing. Sinclair says, how long were they married? Let's look that up. Hold on. Sinclair says, how long were they married? Hold on. It's a good question. How long were they married? Angela says, why have so many women been hurt by black men? Oh my goodness. I didn't see that one. I'm not going to get into black women being hurt. You know, all women have been hurt by men, you know. I don't want to get into that. I want to get into the next thing. Let me see how long they were married. I didn't see that comment though. I wish I would have saw it when we were talking about what we were talking about. Tiana Teller. When were they married? When were they married? Oh, 2016. Okay, so 16, so about give or say what, 9 years? 2016? It's about 9 years, right? Almost 8 or 9 years. Well, they split in 2000. Well, they didn't officially split because it says 2023. I mean, they probably filed for divorce, but it wasn't finalized. So listen, if you file for a divorce, doesn't mean you're divorced. It hasn't been finalized. So technically, it's October 2016 to March 2025. So they've been together for about 9 years, 8 or 9 years. They've been together for a hot minute, 8 or 9 years. They've been together for about 8 or 9 years, So they've been together for a hot minute. Salute to BX Mel. Salute to BX Mel. They've been together for a hot minute. But at the end of the day, the divorce courts are very prejudiced against men. Men 9 times out of 10 men get a bad deal in divorce courts. They lose out on investments, they lose out on money, they lose out on homes, they lose out on custody of the kids, but nobody cares. Nobody cares about the men being victimized. Nobody cares about the men not being able to see their child. Nobody cares about the men, pretty much, losing their, they've worked. Remember, Amon Shumpert, he's worked his whole life to be an NBA player since he was a young boy, since AAU, high school, college, all the way up to the pros, running up and down the court, going to every practice. He worked his whole life to get to the NBA and to be an NBA player. And for him to just to one day meet this chick, and now she has $10 million of his homes. He's paying child support as a retired player that can't go out there and get another NBA contract. That can't go out there and go on the road like his former wife. He has no type of money. I feel a little sympathetic towards that situation. I feel sympathetic towards that. I feel sad for him, but nobody cares about men.
You don't find that suspicious. You don't find that suspicious. You don't find that suspicious.
But that's what that was. But yeah, I feel bad for that situation. What's called wanted me to talk about that. FBA wanted me to talk about that. Let's get into Benny the Butcher. He got pulled over. This is probably the last topic of the night. We're gonna talk about Benny the Butcher and his getting pulled over by the police. Let's get into this real quick. I want to talk about this. The rapper Benny the Butcher. Anybody a Griselda fan? Anybody a fan of Griselda? Anybody rock with Griselda in here? Kids out of Buffalo. BX Mel says, no one speaks of gender equality when it comes to divorce. That's a fact. You don't hear all of these women that are feminists, all of these women that, that want things to be equal. We want things to be equal. We want equal rights. We want to be treated fairly. We want to be paid the same rate that men do. We want equal. You don't see none of them saying that when it comes to divorce court. Why is that? Why we don't see women looking for equal pay and equal rights in divorce court? It seems like they're more than happy to go to divorce court. They don't have a problem going to divorce court. They don't want equality by way of that. That's very interesting that they don't want equality by way of that. I got so many tabs open. Give me 1 second. I got a lot of tabs open. Yeah, man, but yeah, that's real though. What you're saying is real. Women don't want equality by way of that. They really don't want any type of equality. BX Mel says, I rock with Griselda. Yeah, I like Griselda. I like some of the music too. We're gonna get into Benny the Butcher getting pulled over by 12. Let me know if he handled this well. But yeah, but it's interesting that women don't care about that. They don't care about equality by way of that. It's very interesting. Let's get into Benny the Butcher getting pulled over by the police. He had a suspended license and illegal substance in the car. Let's get into this. Let's see what this is all about. Them Buffalo boys, man. Them kids from Buffalo.
Odor marijuana state, Georgia gets probably smoked a blunt. Hey man, marijuana's not legal in Georgia. All right. Go ahead, Joe. Drop the attitude, man. It's not the attitude. Y'all just
told that nigga to drop the attitude.
wasting our time because y'all think this is a blunt.
Georgia officers spotted a gray Cadillac XT6 speeding at 84 miles per hour in a 70 miles per hour zone. To them, it looked like a routine traffic stop. But what they didn't realize was that seated in the back was Benny the Butcher, a popular New York hip-hop artist celebrated for his gritty
Any Griselda fans in the building, let me know.
style and vivid storytelling.
55 southbound to 129 out of Connecticut.
Pulled that nigga over riding around hot in Georgia.
Well, how are you, sir? All right. See your driver's license, please. The reason I stopped you is your speed. Measure your speed at 84 miles an hour in a 60 mile an hour zone. Doesn't change back to 70 until you get down there. You're still in the construction zone. Oh, really? Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't see that. Okay. All right, is this a rental? Oh, yes. All right, just wait right here for me. Do a PC search.
Yo, what are the weed laws in Georgia? What are the weed laws? Is weed legal in because they said he had a blunt in the car. What's the weed laws in Georgia? Weed laws in Georgia. I wouldn't think it's legalized out there. Are the weed laws in Georgia good? What are they? Okay, is weed legal in Georgia? No, it's not. A few cities and counties have flaunted prior presidents and have passed improved laws trying to decriminalize recreational use. But those laws fly in the face of Georgia laws and federal drug laws. Possession over an ounce of possession over an ounce is a felony. Wow. So pretty much weed is not legal in Georgia. Pretty much, and you know he's on the road as well. I mean, if you're on the road and you're driving through those counties, like it's not like you're driving through you're driving through Atlanta or something like that. You're probably driving through some backwater Georgia road or something like that. You're probably, going through a lot of these counties that they don't have favorable laws for recreational use of marijuana. Let's continue though.
The officer was writing a ticket for speeding when another officer approached the vehicle and noticed the smell of marijuana. This gave them probable cause to search the vehicle.
1340, we got one detained.
Yeah, I think he was in the back.
Odor marijuana state, Georgia gets probably smoked a blunt. Great. That's our probable cause to get you out. Marijuana is legal. Y'all want to tear this shit up and stop us? Go ahead. Go ahead, tear it up. Okay, that's how y'all do it. Hey man, marijuana's not legal in Georgia. All right.
Marijuana is not legal in Georgia. See? I think he was riding through those counties. Like he wasn't riding through no Atlanta, no. He's probably riding through those those backwater. Raising Dixie, Dukes of Hazzards. Still got the Confederate flag, raised up high. You got this nigga from New York. And make no mistake, when you're riding through the South, and you get pulled over, and they know you're from New York, they're gonna give you a hard time. You got your white beater on, you got your chains on, you're black, you're in a Cadillac. They're gonna give you a hard time, man. They're gonna give you a hard time.
So it's a blunt. Go ahead, y'all. Go ahead. Drop the attitude, man. It's not the attitude. Y'all just wasting our time because y'all think this is a blunt. Go ahead. What we doing? It's illegal in Georgia. Okay, so let's hurry up.
Told the cop to hurry it up, nigga. See, that's another thing. You from New York? You out here? You telling the cops to hurry up? You got a little smart mouth, or you a little smart little Yankee? They're gonna give you a hard time. BX says, I don't understand why people smoke while mobile. Make it to your destination first, then smoke. Well, you got to think, BX, if you're on the road, he's a rapper. He spends most of his life on the road. Like, these rappers like Griselda, a lot of these independent artists, they don't make money necessarily off of music. When I say music, I mean like the sale of music. meaning like, you know, your records, tracks, streaming, they're not really making a lot of money off of music per se, off of the recording of music. Their bread and butter is performing on the road, you know, going to Atlanta, doing a show for 30,000, you know, going to, you know, hitting these various spots on the road, Atlanta, New Jersey, New York, you know, the Carolinas, and, you know, different places on the road, and people that want to see them and making good money on the road. They're not really making money off of music. So if you're on the road constantly, you don't really have time to go, you know, are you really going to wait, 7-8 hours on the road to get to your next hotel to light an L? I mean, you're in the car for 7 hours. Let me light this L, you know? I crack a window, smoke a little L, and toss it out the window. I mean, who wants to be in a hot car for 7 hours? Niggas, and a lot of these rappers, another thing, a lot of these rappers, they have vices, you know? A lot of them are addicts. A lot of them are addicted to weed. You know, they can't go an hour without a L in their, you know, L's, rolling up an L or some weed in their system. So they kind of need it, to be honest with you.
Hurry me up. Go ahead and let me see some ID. It's called failure to identify in the state of Georgia.
The officers had enough and decided to place the driver in handcuffs after marijuana was found in the vehicle.
You need to quit running your mouth, dude. You're going to end up in jail.
He told him to stop running your mouth. You're going to end up in jail. Yeah, these are definitely some Georgia. These are definitely some Dukes of Hazzard Georgia officers right here. I can tell you right now.
What's the name of the guy in the hat?
This nigga got a New York. He got New York plates, New York ID. You're black, you're in a Cadillac, you're hopping out the car with 100 chains, 100 gold chains on you. Don't give him a hard time. He had to.
Over there. Jeremy? Jeremy what? He's an artist. He's an artist. Well, if you're a manager...
I was just going to say, we're not assholes. We're coming from the wedding.
He is.
I don't know.
He is.
He's probably in a bad mood.
I don't care if he's in a bad mood. I don't give a damn if he's an artist. All right? Gives two shits at this point. We're just doing our job. So, what's his last name?
You got to ask him.
See how these cops talk to this guy?
Pennick. He knows his last name.
It's what?
Can't he give you his last name, sir?
No, he's being difficult. So, what's his name? You guys are extending this out. You know, you're even worse about it than he is.
His name's Jeremy Pennick.
Jeremy what?
Pennick.
Pennick.
Yes.
Spell his last name if you're his manager.
It's P-E-N-I-C-K.
Marijuana's illegal in the state of Georgia.
Oh, they told me you can have like a less than an ounce. Oh, because when we was in the airport and it was like I had a little bag of weed in my car. In my suitcase, and they told me you could only, the police in the airport, Atlanta airport, he told me you can have under.
They slapped the handcuffs on Benny.
Your friend, Jerry.
I didn't say me, I said.
He's your therapy.
See if they slap the handcuffs on Benny.
I heard y'all was tough.
It's also the safest city in the state of Georgia.
No, I'm just saying, we never got put over in the other cities, even for anything.
I think that's cap too. Like, I mean, yeah, come on now. You know, you're riding through Georgia. Most New York people, we know the weed laws in these, you know, these southern places, they're not. Most people from New York know that. I mean, maybe they're a little oblivious because they're on the road, but if you know you riding through Jersey, you would know, like, you know, this is not Cali, you know. A lot of New York people that done went down south 100 times. We know that the weed laws are not like how they are in New York or how they are in Cali. We know that. And then another thing, you got to think, he looks like a drug dealer. And I know that's his thing. He's like a drug dealer rapper. But he looks like a drug dealer. Got all these chains on. You like a scammer drug dealer. think you got some keys in the car or something like that.
You have your driver's license?
I don't have a license.
You don't have one at all?
I have to live like 5 minutes around. I was just driving. This is my wife.
Do what?
I live like 5 minutes away from here. This is my wife. I was just driving home.
Okay, but you don't have a license. Hello? You have a license, ma'am? I need to see yours.
I just got this car back from the dealership because I lost the key. I didn't know we just got this car back. I didn't know the light.
Another death?
Where's that? There you go.
Sure, fine.
What the hell happened? Oh, they showing something from 2 years ago?
There's a phone number if you got it.
I don't want to look at nothing from 2 years ago, but yeah, you know, Benny the Butcher. People were talking about him in this video, how the cop was talking to him or whatever. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, Benny the Butcher. I mean, listen, he got jammed up by the police. You know, running around. Most people from New York know you can't be going down south smoking weed like that. I mean, most of us know that. I mean, come on. I don't know what he was thinking or what was going through his mind, but that's a whole nother story. What was going through his mind and why he did that. Sinclair says no airport allows weed. They are federal. The feds haven't legalized weed. That's a fact. 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 You know, like when I was in Thailand, Sinclair, I had I had some weed on me. I knew better. I was like, I am not about to go to the airport with weed on me. And I ain't gonna lie. I also got some other medication in Thailand. I got another medication, but I didn't have a script for it. It wasn't no like perks and nothing like that. But I brought some other medication out in what's it called in Thailand. And I knew better though. I was like, I ain't got no script for none of this. I definitely don't have no weed permit to be running around with weed. And I definitely ain't got no script for this medication that I got. So I tossed that shit. I left that shit in Thailand. I threw that shit in the garbage. I was like, I am not hopping on no flight with no drugs on me. BXML says he found out how famous he was in those moments. That's a fact. You know, he found out. Listen, man, you ain't Drake. You ain't no Drake. You know, you just a regular independent artist. I'm sure he never even heard of him. I'm sure that officer never even heard of him. He probably he didn't care who he was. But that's about it, guys. I just wanted to talk about a couple of these topics. I really didn't have nothing to talk about, but I thought there was a couple topics we could talk about and go through and break down a little bit. I just thought it was I thought it was important for me to come on here and just have a little show. Just haven't talked to y'all guys in a minute, so I thought let me hop on here and talk to y'all guys for a little while. But salute to everybody in the chat. Salute to Sinclair. Salute to Angela. Salute to E Code. Salute to BXML. Salute to FBA. Salute to everybody that came out. Everybody that was in the chat today. Everybody that turned up. Everybody that was talking and doing their thing. Salute to everybody. I'm gonna see you guys, God willing, tomorrow. I'll probably do a live tomorrow. Maybe if not a live, maybe a video. But y'all guys have a good night, man. I'm gonna call it a night. It's about 1 p.m. Gotta get myself some rest, some sleep, give me some naps. Give me some nap time. But y'all guys have a good night, man. Y'all have a good night, man. We out, man. Toodles.